an influencer. I think this just might be going to YouTube. Hello, welcome to C Story. I don't even know how to do this. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I would like to tell you my story about how after 10,000 plus rejections, I decided to fix hiring with my team at Octopus. It's a very special moment, but yesterday, someone very special to me joined our team, and that's really exciting news to me. I couldn't be more excited in doing this. Well, I am doing this from my room, and this is one of those moments, those milestones that I just wanted to share my story with you, and it's really exciting. And when you're a founder, one question that everybody asks you is like, why this problem? Why are you the right person to solve it? And every time someone asks me that question, I don't remember what happens, but like I open my eyes and we're here. I really, I feel it's like the fire takes over, and then it's just I don't remember. My co-founder and my team members will have a lot to say on that, but once that question is asked me, it's just there's this fire in my veins that just doesn't stop, because I've been there. I have been through this. I have been a job seeker, and even in January 2024, I was still seeking a job. I've navigated unemployment for nearly a year. And I don't remember a time that I felt more degraded, frustrated, anxious, depressed in my life. And the worst thing is, not getting that feedback made me really think, is this the way to go? Because if nearly 13,000 employers do not think that I'm the right fit for them, then shouldn't I get to know can I improve, or maybe what would make me the right fit? Don't get me wrong, I learned so much about seeking a job, applying to jobs, and basically how these systems work. And I can gladly say that many of these myths are not true. There is no AI today, within my knowledge and within my experience, that automatically rejects us, because there are compliances and regulations that employers have to really abide by. And essentially, they're not able to do it without human, monitoring that technology that they're leveraging. With that said, today I'm proud to be one of those technology builders, but we're building that technology so that we can fix this problem that we call hiring for good. And I'm really, really excited to be doing this. I have an incredible team. I have an incredible co-founder. I still feel like, oh my God, this is gonna go up on YouTube, but that's just what it feels like. So with that said, I really am excited that you're tuning in, and I would like to tell you the whole story of how this all happened. So we need to go back to me when I was 16. And when I was 16, I was just a little girl wanting my financial independence, and therefore I thought that I could apply to jobs and, get to work on something and get experience. Even if I'm working voluntarily, that was okay for me. And I had my first internship when I was like 15 in craft science and sales and marketing. So that was definitely like a plus for me, because I really got to experience a real corporate environment, and I decided that I don't belong here. My neurodiverse brain cannot breathe here. So that's pretty much what happened. And essentially, from there, I started applying to jobs when I was 16 at my LinkedIn. Last year, LinkedIn sent me my 7th-year anniversary message, but pretty much I did not know what I was doing in the first 4 at least. And LinkedIn changed a lot, because I remember when I first entered LinkedIn, it was these quotes and these proverbs and these suited people who felt really corporate and not really friendly, not really human. And therefore, I really felt like LinkedIn was not the right place for me. But then I saw that shift happening, and with the Gen Z coming, and with the new trends, with how we wanted to change how we work and how we communicate about work after the pandemic. There was a massive shift on LinkedIn that has happened after the COVID-19, and LinkedIn has changed, and therefore a diverse person like me and many incredible people like yourself were able to find our places in that platform. So to me, that's extraordinarily exciting. With that said, so that really started my journey, and little did I know that that would become the problem that I would be this obsessed to solve, and that I would have a great, incredible team. Yeah, I don't get cut. But this great team that I would be solving this problem with. So, after that said, pretty much, the first rejection message, unfortunately, you're not, whatever, you're not moving forward with you. So that was really the first, the beginning into all of this. And that was in 2017. Crazy, crazy. It's been 8 years. So, I wanted to be an academician when I was going to university. And I remember in one of the school tours, I looked at this amphitheater, and I thought, I want to be teaching 365 nations here. And I really want to. I want to be able to create that social impact. And the social impact here is a really key word, because no one told me the worst place to create social impact is actually academia today. And to me, that was devastating. It was devastating that when, we had to do exams, and I dreamed that in university, we worked for this in high school, we worked for this our entire year. And I thought that someone really would care about how we thought about things. And then I shortly found out that all those employer branding and marketing, it was really buzzwords that the corporations live by. That said, I really, really am excited, because I'm now seeing an opportunity to make a difference, but I did not at the time. And it was super frustrating, because, a company tells you, hey, we're looking for leadership, curiosity. If you really care about that diversity, we want you to think out of the box. But then when you get the job and you're like, wow. For example, one of the senior recruiters in PNG told me that, I would hire you, but you wouldn't be able to breathe here. Like, we even have rules around bringing a horse to a different country, moving a horse from one border to another border. So he said that it's not right. And we were working on a different startup at the time in B2C. And he said, if I could take the risk that you could have, then I would be in your place. So he really thought that this would take off, and I wouldn't need to get a job. Of course, we all know that's not how it all played out. Essentially, what happened is, after that, I navigated a 10,000 plus on top of that. And that was a very interesting period for me, because when I graduated, the employer started to tell me that I was overqualified, and I was overqualified for entry-level jobs. But I was told to develop myself, to improve myself, to keep learning, to upskill, to pretty much, everything that we've been told. And I really am surprised and shocked and astonished, because I did not know that this would be the way that things would go. So that said, I'm really glad that Riverside is compiling all this into a more organized period, because I have ADHD, and therefore, you should be able to communicate with me. But anyway, that said, I graduated. A month later, I got a level 4 offer, a senior business development and strategy specialist. And that was really the emptiest title I carried in my life. I was like, this is not for me. And my motivation never was to feel prestigious and whatever that you may call it. I always wanted to create impact, social impact. And I owe many, many great things to me being able to discover that, to the NGO that I was working in. And I was teaching English to little children, and being able to do that impact was everything. That was in my life where I decided that I wanted to teach, I wanted to create an impact, because it means the world when you see that you're able to influence someone else's life in such a positive way, and it is capable of changing their life. So to me, that was really the best thing that could have happened. So from there, in 2020, I got my first internship in a startup. And that was a really tight time that I got to know startups, because previously, programs like Shark Tank, I never thought that a female founder could be an entrepreneur. I never thought that it would be possible to be a female leader, because of representation in front of me. It was not it was not the way to go. Like there was no way, no representation for me to see that, okay, it's actually possible for me to be a leader. And I never saw myself as a leader because the leader in front of me was manipulative. The leader in front of me was controlling. The leader in front of me was authoritarian. And therefore I really did not have anyone to look up to in this regard. And I really disagreed with these notions. I thought it should be inclusive. I showed that thought it should be liquid. And in that case, I really owe it to Europe 101 Liquid Leadership Program for me to really understand who I am as a leader and that I am indeed a leader. So my first startup was all about me accidentally scaling this thing up to 40 volunteer people in 5 different time zones, getting nearly 2,000 applications and learning to recruit hands-on myself, from scratch, because I needed the right team members. But that was really time that I realized, okay, like this doesn't work for job seekers, but there's actually no way for a recruiter to understand who's the right fit, or a hiring manager to understand who's the right fit according to what criteria and whatnot. Yeah, so that really started our journey. And from there, it's been really crazy. It's been a crazy ride. In 2023, my co-founder in a Google Meet room, he was interviewing for an AI engineer at the time, and our head of people, for the B2C startup had counted him full credits to him for that. I hope he's listening. And he was his top candidate, and I saw him in that Google Meet room, and I was like, oh my God, that is my co-founder. The spark of innovation that he had in his eyes, and really not like the motivation he had, was to really create an impact, to use his abilities for good. And he has 2 decades of experience in AI. I couldn't have asked for a better co-founder, and I couldn't really ask for a better business partner in bringing Octopus to life. And when I look at it, it really feels crazy, but this all started almost like 2 years ago right now. And I never thought I would get on YouTube and talk about this. Wow. So in September, we were in Berlin, and at this conference, we were able to validate this hiring problem that we were really thinking about, because we realized that this is not the way to go. This is not our problem to solve. And I came to understand, and I also was like discovering my ADHD, understanding my neurodiversity and how that influences me versus how different I am and how outlier I am versus others around me. I realized that productivity market in the end was overly quantitative, and I really wanted to, stay away from those numbers like sometimes. And essentially the productivity startup there was really focused on making things as quantitative as possible. And I was also using the quantitative self-theory, and I wanted to do that with deep tech, but needless to say, I'm not a deep tech person. I don't have a deep tech background. So that said, I really focused on validating this problem as quick as possible. So we did that, and we find people willing to pay for it on a conference in Berlin. And then I got back. We were shortlisted for Berlin Newcomer Award, and we were one of the 6 people. And then we ended up winning that. I couldn't get a visa for that because of the miscommunication between the embassy and the consulate. But when you're an immigrant founder, these are just, the natural things to you. It's a Tuesday. You just gonna get the visa, right? So anyway, we won that award, and from there we were able to pretty much go into the MVP development phase. And for 6 to 8 months, we just developed it, beta tested it, and then we realized that the branding did not really speak to what we were doing and who we were speaking to anymore. So we introduced our new brand in October. Well, this year has been super exciting, and we got nominated for Global Startup Awards Health Tech Startup of the Year. And we, next to that, are kicking off our pilots. We're super, super excited to really bring this impact to many organizations and millions and billions of candidates. That's really our dream. And if we're able to empower organizations with this force, with extra tentacles, the end result of that, the outcome of that, and then like seeing the success stories that creates, helping organizations grow. Hiring is a fourth organizational crisis in the world that organizations are facing. If 50% of the small businesses usually close because they are not able to find the right fit. So to me, the problem that we're solving is just, it couldn't have mattered more. It keeps me awake at night to think that the technology, other players in the space are scaling what is already broken. And no one is really like there to think about or rethink hiring, what have we actually been doing and what is the way out of this? So that said, I'm not I'm experimenting with these series. And if you would like to hear more of these, please let me know. If you have any questions that I can answer for you, please let me know. We also will be launching our podcast season 2 soon with a co-host. I'm super, super excited to announce. It's our chief people officer that will be joining with me as a co-host. And we will be focusing on unfiltered conversations in the talent space and around humanizing recruitment. And we believe that really will make a difference for many talent leaders like yourself. And we will be offering an intergenerational perspective because our chief people officer brings 2 decades of experience in HR, and I, on the other hand, I realize that this is not going to work for me and this is not going to work for many people. So, why keep the broken system when we can actually change it, when we can bring our forces, our tentacles together and make a difference. So thank you so much for putting your tentacle today, putting your tentacle in. We are one tentacle strong because you've tuned into this. If you would like to see more of this, please let me know. And I'm absolutely a newbie. I have never, ever done this before. But I think that's really the part of the life. And I wanted to, be natural in this, and I wanted to be myself. And that's pretty much what my life's fight has been about. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And if there's anything I can do, you can find my contact details below, and you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you the best day ever. I hope that you're fortunate enough to really solve a problem that you care so deeply about with the team that you care so deeply about. I couldn't have been more luckier, and I feel my entire life has been worth it, and I just hope the same for you as well. I was this little scientist of Piaget, and he was really criticized for it, but I think that he was right, and I was the embodiment of that theory. And children were not exaggerated in their capability, but we were underestimated. So I think that it's really a great thing to be able to bring our intergenerational forces together and make a difference that works for all of us. Thank you so much again for tuning in. This is C tuning out, and I'm grateful that you're one of our tentacles today.